think it's phenomenal. And I love the way you have it set up. I think you have a brand that is unique and just something that is really something I think a lot more people need to take note of, because your show is phenomenal. It really, truly is.
So I hope this is helpful, but I thought it was fantastic, man. Like literally, like I said in the chat, I took notes on like, dude, I need to have like an intro. I need to have, like I'm taking notes on how to I can level up my show. So
Nice.
as an interviewee, super fun. Interviewer, awesome, because like especially I have ADHD, so sometimes I forget what I'm saying, and then you're so good about like bringing it back. So thanks for doing that.
I gotta tell ya, I don't often get nervous because, we're always live streaming and working with a lot of different people. I'm a little nervous with you, JP. Your show is like so polished, so good. And the people in the chat that are joining us, man, I'm really happy to be here.
JP, thank you so much. I am so excited to be here. I am beside myself. I've been bouncing up and down as all the intros were going, and I was still hearing the music that you were playing in the intro in my mind. And yeah, I'm a little bit jacked up, but let's see if I can bring myself down to earth so we can have a really productive conversation today.
Everything seems like it's all intentional, chosen well. Your production, the way you put it together, I believe you can really coach people into doing it. And I trust that you'll uniquely hit each person with the knowledge that you have and allow it to custom fit them. Like a great basketball coach, you don't make Kobe Bryant, you didn't try to make him Michael Jordan, but you still coach him based on what he brings to the table, but you do your Phil Jackson. And so you kind of like a Phil Jackson of the high-tech world. And I believe that, people that know that there's somebody can get with you and get the stuff done right. I love it.
This is the show. I appreciate you being here with us.
I can't believe it. Mama, I made it. I made it on JP's high-tech show, the Content Creator University. I'm good now. I'm about to retire after this. Your personality and your persona is what creates the content. And so not just having people that just like, oh my gosh, I just create, but actually talking about the whole person, just from a university, just like if you think about it from a university, right? We had to take humanities classes, which I hated. We had to take classes on socialization, history and, art and all that other stuff. And I'm like, dude, I'm taking this, but it helped us fundamentally understand and have a broader perspective. And I think that's exactly what the Content Creator University does.
Really awesome to be here. Thanks for having me. This is like a super high level production and I feel slightly insecure. I feel like I need to level everything up just a little bit.
The conversation was dope. Look, it really was. I've been really excited about having this conversation because I knew I would get somewhat emotional about it and want to make sure I pushed the right buttons with some of the topics that I was talking about. And I think we were able to get that across. I was noticing in the comments that folks were resonating with the message. So look, it was what it needed to be. And I think, again, it all stems from you and the platform that you're building, allowing folks to come into the environment and share and feel welcome. So kudos to you again, just for everything that you're doing on the front end and the back end, building the Content Creator University.
Listen, you want to consume these videos, go back to his channel and watch these videos, because this content is content that would cost you thousands and thousands of dollars in digital courses or what have you. Courses that I paid for, right, are not giving the type of nuggets that I've been able to get from watching previous episodes and things of that nature of the Content Creators University. And so I would implore you to jump on board and really support Content Creators University. It's an amazing thing that JP is doing here.
everybody, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is JP High Tech, and I am a global branding expert. I'm also the founder and CEO of a media company called Perfect Zone Productions. Well, what do we do here? Well, this is a channel that's going to impact you. If you're a creator, right? Content creator, YouTuber, podcaster, author, you work in corporate America, you name it. Anybody that creates something, this place is for you. What do? We help you learn the best way to make money with your creation, right? So every week we have a show called Content Creators University, where we receive one of the best minds in the content creation ecosystem, and we share with you the best strategies that are adaptable to our economy today, right? We live in a creator economy right now where we need to understand the best way to leverage technology and make an impact and truly convert more clients. Well, are you a coach? Are you trying to elevate and grow your business? Are you just creating online content and wondering the best way to deliver those to people? Or you're just looking to learn the best way to master the technology behind content creation? Well, this is what we do here. Every single week we have a brand new video for you. So again, welcome to the YouTube channel. This is what we do here, right? I want you to be settled, look around, and subscribe to the channel, activate the bell icon so you're notified every single time we go live. And I can tell you one thing, we go live pretty often on this channel, almost every single week. Every Tuesday or Wednesday, I go live right here on this channel. So let's connect, right? And if you're looking to work with me, well, just go to my website, which is jphightech.com. Go ahead and book a free consultation if you're looking for a team to help you elevate your branding. What I do is help companies, entities, individuals develop and embrace their trademark identity, right? And through high quality visuals, talking about cinematography, photography, web design, graphic design, live video, right? How can you use live video and podcasting to really grow your business? Those type of things. There's a strategy to do it, and that's what we help people achieve. And I want to connect with you. Again, welcome to JP High Tech, a YouTube channel, and let's get the show on the road. See you soon.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode here of the Content Creators University. I am your humble servant, JP. This is what we do every single week, right? We come right here and connect with one of the best minds of the, in the content creation IT ecosystem. What we do here is give you the solutions, right? The secrets of this madness, I call them, right? We are in the creator economy where there is mad busy, right? Our motto here is create, impact, innovate. And my thing is the day you stop learning, you stop growing. So this platform is all about helping you grow, keep learning, because technology is a platform that is always growing, always evolving, right? So we want to stay rooted and keep learning the best ways to leverage technology in order to build our business. So if you want to grow your business, leveraging technology, right? And truly understanding how content creation can make that happen for you, well, this is the place for you, and this is what we do every single week. If you're new to the platform, well, let me go ahead and ask you, subscribe to this channel if you appreciate this type of content, right? Like this video if you like this conversation today, and while you're at it, you can go ahead and activate the bell icon so that you are never in the black room or back room or missing out whenever I go live. We have some folks in the comment section. I want to go ahead and thank you folks for joining us. I have DSD. Hey, what's going on? Thanks for joining us here. We appreciate you being here with us. I have Adventures in Dirt. I love that. Cheers to you as well. And our guest, Jeff, is backstage. He'll be with us shortly on here so that we can jump into this conversation. I'm looking at you as well. Lily Tree, what's going on? Thanks for being here. Hello to you as well. John Beckett, what's good, family? What's good? Let's keep this going. One thing that we do here every single week is we have what we call the news, right? We have some news to share with you. What's going on in the Content Creators University? Let's talk about the news right after this. Don't go anywhere. Stay with me. I'll be right back.
Yo, 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 it's your boy Jay Dunn. Look, you are on Content Creator University. You finally made it. It's live right now. So stay right here because it's about to be crazy. Let's go. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the news. We have Unplugged 2022, which is a conference that I am very, very, very excited to be part of. And folks, I can tell you right now, this is going to be an amazing time if you're all about connecting with other professionals in the workplace, right? If you're in HR or in the workplace, or you're a business owner, entrepreneur, anything like that, and you want to learn from the best people and build that network of professionals, then you want to come here. This is a 3-day event, right? 2 days in person, and the third day is virtual. I am very excited to be one of the speakers, and this is taking place in Atlanta, Georgia, between March 30th and April 1st. I want to see you there, folks. It's going to be a really, really, really fun time as we have a lot to talk about. Now, for the folks that did not know, if you just discovered this online, the video, well, we have a couple of things that are happening. Well, one thing I want to tell you right here is we do have this show that is available in audio podcast, right? Let me go ahead and show you. We are available on Roku, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audible, Google Podcasts, so you name it, any major podcast streaming platform that you use, that you can listen to Content Creators University with JP High Tech on that specific platform. Go ahead and download it. And while you're at it, one thing that I want to ask you folks is go ahead and leave us a review. Let us know what you think about the podcast. What did you get back from it? Did you learn anything from the conversation? We want to hear from you. If you didn't know that, well, go ahead and check it out. Now, talking about being available, we also have this available on Roku TV application, right? And I'm excited about one thing. The solution that I use to make this available on Roku TV application is called RTN Streams, right? And this is it right here. And their website is rtnstreams.com. Now, for the folks that are wondering, what is this about? Well, RTN Streams is a decoder, right? I'm using an encoder right now to broadcast this onto multiple platforms, including, we're on YouTube and my website and all that. But it's allowing me to also simultaneously be live on my Roku TV application. So the website, like I said, is rtnstreams.com, right? You are able to use it and do a lot of simulcasting, right? And at the same time, power your Roku TV application and your Amazon Fire TV application as well, which is what I'm using. And this allows you to do that, right? One solution, if you know how to upload a video to online, to YouTube, to Facebook, social media, you'll be able to use this solution and really maximize your reach, expand that. And when we're talking about that, there's a whole lot of things, positive things that this can do for your business when you are on TV, right? When you are outside of YouTube or any other platform that we do not own, because we understand in the creator economy, ownership is everything. And this gives you that ownership, right? Owning your platform where people can really follow you and build that community is key. One of the things we're about to talk about today with my guest, Jeff, backstage, right? Now, for the folks that are like, JP, I want to connect with you. Well, this is it right here. This is my website. Let me go ahead and minimize. For the folks that are watching, let me go ahead and minimize my chat. Now, my website is jphightech.com, right? I am a global branding expert, folks. I help people establish a premium brand, leveraging videography, cinematography, graphic design, photography, web design, live video, right? If you really want to elevate your brand, well, this is it, right? jphighttech.com is the place you want to go. Go ahead and connect with me. Just go ahead and put a free consultation on my calendar and let's connect. Let's see how me and my team can help you. And we just renewed our brand altogether. So go ahead and check it out. Let us know what you think about the new look of the website, the team built. Again, jphighttech.com is a place to go. All right, folks. So now we are about to bring our guest onto the stage. Now, before we do that, one thing that we like doing is getting ready, right? I want to thank those of you who are welcoming me into your living rooms, grabbing that popcorn and everything. Be ready because our guest, Jeff, he's a professional. Now, instead of me telling you about him, we're going to bring him onto the stage and have him share more about himself to you. And we got some fun questions just to allow us to know him a little better than the average person might on the public space, right? That's what we'll do right after this intro. Get ready, folks. It's about to be good. All right, Jeff. Welcome to the Content Creators University. How you doing today?
I'm doing awesome, man. Great to be here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Excited. First of all, I want to thank you, right, for accepting our invite, right? Thank you so much for that. I am very, very excited to have you onto this platform. One thing that we say is that every guest is a professor. So you are going to be our professor today because we're about to learn from your expertise, from your background, from your story, and really grow. That's what we do here, right? We like growing. So first thing that I want to ask you, for the folks that do not know you, right? Let's take a minute. Take a minute, introduce yourself. Tell them who you are and the amazing things you're doing lately.
Sure. My name is Jeff Bartsch. I am a content creator. I'm a coach, and I'm a communicator. And my mission is to tell stories and to empower people to tell theirs. And so the main way that I'm doing that these days is through my community at storygreenlight.com. And that helps content creators unlock a new level of impact and human connection with their audience through their content. So this is building off my background in the entertainment industry. I spent my about 20 years building my career as a television editor in Los Angeles. And I shaped content for ABC, NBC, Universal, Disney, ESPN, Apple, whole bunch of other folks. And I realized that there is a lot that even though platforms change, there's a lot that stays the same and has stayed the same for centuries and will stay the same for centuries. And that's the kind of stuff that tends to get lost and swept under the rug when people get so obsessed over the latest platform and the latest gadgets. What we're really looking for here is human connection and communication. And that's what we help our folks with.
Nice, man. I'm loving that. That is so true, right? That human interaction changes things. It changes the overall look and spirit and feel of whatever you're producing, right? You can be solo and thinking of, oh, this is the project I want to produce. Once you add human interaction to it, there's some variables that you didn't think about that changes the equation. So I'm loving that. I'm loving that. We're about to dive into exactly the conversation today on how to leverage our story, right, to stand out in this creator economy. Before we do that, we have some fun questions that we have here listed that I want to ask you just to see what Jeff is all about. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right. First question I got for you, Jeff, is if you were a superhero, who would that be and why?
You know, I got to say, I would go for Batman because he's, you know, there's just the whole good versus evil thing. I mean, it doesn't get more clear cut than that. And he has, he's relatable. He's very human, but he has lots of tricks up his sleeve. And I think that's super cool.
He sure does, man. He sure does. I'm lucky that you said that. And another guest told me that, one reason why they will choose to be Batman is even though he doesn't have superpowers, he still can save the day, right? He has gadgets and different things that he puts together to save the day, which is cool, man. Yeah. I'm loving that. All right. So we know that you're currently at your 9th season with NBC American Ninja. First thing we're wondering is, has Jeff always been great at sports? And why specifically American Ninja? What's the story behind it? Tell us a little more.
That's one of the great ironies of my career is that I've spent a lot of time cutting shows and shaping content for sports-driven content. Probably the most notable would be for American Ninja Warrior on NBC. And then a lot of people don't know this. I actually did a lot of work for the UFC, for the Ultimate Fighting Championship. And the fact of the matter is, I have straight up sucked at sports my entire life. I mean, people look at me now and they say, "Oh, well, yeah, you probably ran cross country or you did basketball," and I did neither. It was horrible. So but the cool thing that happened with that was that when I was in high school, in a town that was obsessed with basketball, and I was just so bad at it, it forced me to actually do things. I ended up being the guy with the video camera on my shoulder, shooting video and eventually editing videos and putting them all together of the people who did play basketball. And I did the sports highlight reels and the graduation videos. And so that was my angle in high school. I was Jeff the video guy in high school, and that's served me well ever since. So in terms of Ninja, I got connected with Ninja because of a connection with the production company that I've worked with for a very long time, probably 13, 14 years at this point. And so we ended up, that production company got the deal for the show, and they've been doing it ever since. And they do everything possible to keep a core team, to run the show and to keep things consistent from season to season. So that's how I got connected with the show. And it is right up. It's probably got to be one of my favorite shows that I've ever cut in my life, in my whole career, because there is so much to talk about in terms of storytelling and symbolism and creating impactful, meaningful moments. And there's all kinds of stuff to talk about there. But yeah, that's how I got hooked up with Ninja in the first place.
Man, a non-sports guy becoming a star or being placed under the spotlight on a super physical show that has to do with sport. Yeah. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. It is fun. I love the story, man. That's pretty cool. Now, let me ask you this. If you were to meet a 25-year-old Jeff today, yourself, when you were 25, what would be one main advice you would give yourself and why?
Oh, man. I would tell 25-year-old me that if you want to build a business, building a business is very different than doing something that you're good at. You have this thing that you're good at, but if you want to build a business around doing that thing, there's a whole other set of skills that you have to learn. So in my case, I'd read a book by Robert Kiyosaki called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and it just kind of turned my brain inside out about how the rich don't work for money, the rich have money work for them, and all those kind of things. And I wanted to see, okay, how can I take what I've learned so far in my career in LA and help teach that and grow a business around teaching other people what I've learned. And at first, 25-year-old me thought, oh, well, all I got to do is do lots of video editing. And there's a lot more than that. So that's been part of my journey, banging my head against the wall, the digital wall, for quite some time, figuring out, okay, what does it mean to build a business that actually provides something that people need and it serves the people and is financially profitable at the same time?
I love that. I truly, truly do, because that is so true what you say, right? Being good at something, having a skill, doesn't translate to owning a business, right? You can be good at it and you can do it as a freelance. Even being a freelancer doesn't mean you have a business. That simply means you're getting paid for something you're good at, that, something that you excel in, you can do easily, or you love doing, or you're passionate about. When we're talking about building a business, is a whole new different conversation. Things that we need to put in place in order to, quote unquote, being recognized even by the IRS or the government or by people as an actual business. There are certain things we have to do. And in the operation sector of the business, there's also certain things we have to be doing in our day-to-day operations in order for that to be deemed a business. So that is really, really good. Now, today we live in a creator economy today where almost every single company, right, wants to leverage some sort of media aspect to expand their business, right, to grow their clientele. Or, like today, most businesses are investing in a content creation type of department in order to connect with people they've never connected with and things like that. Well, today we're talking about story because we believe that story plays actually the most fundamental role in all of this, right? Because when you're creating content, you're actually trying to tell a story. Now, for the folks that do not understand, why is storytelling, right, the importance of being able to tell story the right way, so important in order to be successful at this?
It comes down to, well, number one, the idea of storytelling is it's not just a corporate buzzword. It's not a fad. I mean, everyone is talking about storytelling these days because people are realizing that it's an important thing, but it's not an important thing because it's just something that you do to be different from other people. Storytelling is important because it's a fundamental way that one human being connects with another human being. It's been that way for centuries, and it will always be that way. So when you tell a story to someone, you literally, as the storyteller, hold the power to control the brain chemistry, to literally control the brain chemistry of the people who are listening and engaging with your story. I mean, straight up, I mean, you remember the last time you were watching a movie and you were feeling all tense and you felt like you were sitting on the edge of your seat. That story was making your brain dump cortisol and adrenaline in your bloodstream. And when, and when you hear, when you get warm fuzzies going through your, when you feel those feelings of warm fuzzies, when you hear a great story and you love how it turns out or the resolution, that is chemicals like oxytocin going through your bloodstream. I mean, this is a fundamental physiological human connection thing. It's such a big deal. I mean, it is how we connect as human beings. So that's one element to all this. But the other element that a lot of people may not consider is the idea that we don't always have to be telling a story in our content to connect with our people. But in order to connect with our people, we do always need to understand the story that our people are living through themselves. Even something as simple as someone in our audience goes to YouTube and they say, I have this problem, I have this question. Who can help me solve this problem or answer this question? Up pops you, the content creator. You have been putting in the time, you've been putting in the effort, and YouTube surfaces your piece of content to the person who says, this is the right person to give me the answer. And you come along and you help solve their problem by providing the content. Now, you may tell a story in that content, or you may just say, hey, this is the information I know you're looking for. Here's the information. Bye-bye. We'll see you later. And even so, without having told a story, you have engaged in the story process, and you have solved the problem, and you have changed the person's life, even if in just a tiny way, by doing that. So it's a really big deal. And especially when, it used to be that when platforms were new, platforms like YouTube, if you were able to actually get content up for your content, for your subject in general, that meant that you were probably going to be seen. Your content was probably going to be seen. So many of these platforms like YouTube and Google and all these other search engines are mature, enormous platforms right now. And there are billions upon billions of pieces of content there. How on earth is any of this stuff going to stand out? So that's where you say, okay, this is not just about dropping information anymore. Information is everywhere. What we have to do is create a human connection. Or that's one of the ways to do things. I mean, there are other ways that you can stand out, but a lot of people may not have access to these other things. The one thing that we do all have access to is telling a story, understanding the story of our audience.
See, that's the thing. And thank you so much for breaking it down like that, because that's the thing, right? As a cinematographer myself, that's the thing that I believe is causing a challenge to the new creator, I should say, right? Somebody that doesn't have that background expertise per se, in order to create that connection between your viewers and your story, right? Because that's ultimately what's going to drive that traffic to you or to the things you're doing. Because today we have technology at our fingertips, right? If you remember back then when YouTube started, people were just going on YouTube because it was a new phenomenon, right? You can have videos on YouTube now.
Let's see videos.
Exactly, right? Let's watch videos, right? Oh man, I can spend time on videos right now. That was a new thing. Now it evolved. And see, that's why it's so important to understand and watch what time are we living in. It evolved today. Today, anybody can use a Gmail account and start making videos on YouTube. There's so many videos uploaded in a day that the average YouTuber, right? And statistics tell us that 7 out of 10 do not make it the first 12 months on YouTube. They find it too hard, right? Even podcasts, right? They find it too hard. And podcast says that 4 out of 5 podcasts discontinue in the first year. Right. So would you say, Jeff, that the ease of access of technology has maybe made it for people to be a little lazy when it comes to thinking about the actual production value they're trying to put out? Is it too easy for people to just grab a device or something and just, go and make a video? Would you say that? Or is it that people are simply not thinking about it anymore? Like the distraction is more on the actual technology being used versus the story that should be presented leveraging the technology. What would you say?
Well, I would say that having technology easily accessible, number one, it makes it a lot easier. And if it's easy, everyone is going to be doing it. And now everyone is doing it, especially in the post-COVID world where everyone has been pushed online. Businesses have been pushed online. Everyone is a content creator right now. I got one of these. You can, you hit record, hit upload, boom, you're a content creator. So that's number one. That's not a value statement. That's not a judgment statement. That's just straight up fact. Now, the next thing beyond that is, are people getting lazy? Not necessarily. I think there is a place for people to have there's certainly a place for high production value. There's certainly a place for low production value, just point and shoot, just real raw in your face kind of stuff. But I think what a lot of people are getting faced with is they don't know what they know. They don't know what they don't know coming into the content creation game. They don't realize that the people who make it look so easy are really, really good at what they do. And even the most experienced professionals don't always get it right. The most experienced professionals and creators in any medium always have things that flop. And so when folks are starting out, and especially on a mature platform, they think, oh, well, I should automatically get my stuff seen. No, that's not the way it works. Oh, well, my stuff should automatically be good because I think it's good. Well, frankly, that's not up to you. Love to you as the creator, and that's up to your audience to decide. So if you're just creating for yourself and you don't know who your audience is, well, that's going to be a challenge for any kind of an algorithm to put your stuff in front of people who want to see it. So it's a learning curve for any creator, for any business, for any brand who wants to step out and say, I want to establish a presence for myself. But it's a learning curve that we all go through.
Oh, that's true. That's true, because honestly, my feedback on that is that, yeah, today almost every person creates content, because we need to understand what content means, right? Whenever you put anything out there, you write a book, you write a blog, you create a podcast, a YouTube videos, all that is content, right? That's being put out. So everybody's putting content out. Now, of course, when everybody's using a certain technology that's been made available to the consumer, right? Everybody, you're not professional by using it. Now we got to weed out who is a professional, who's not, right? And like you said, it's easy to see somebody else do something, and a professional, I don't know, photographer will grab any camera and be able to swing it, make it look so easy. And when you grab that same camera, which again, the cameras and stuff have been made so available now, right? On Amazon, everywhere, where the average person there, you see them now with a professional, pro consumer type of camera and lens combination. They're just snapping pictures. And now realizing that, oh, snap, I just paid for a professional photographer that has the same thing, but our images do not look the same. What is going on here? What am I missing? Simply because there's an experience, a background information that, that professional has, that he put into the work, that's making his image look a certain way. So today we have almost everyone want to stand out, right? That's what we're talking about today, how to stand out on as a content creator today, right? And we're talking about the power of our story. Why is it that information is not enough anymore? Why can't we just base it on the information that we have of what we're doing and be able to really be successful? Why do we have to leverage our personal story or the story that we want to tell necessarily just to succeed if almost everyone is interested in consuming this type of content?
How many kinds of toothpaste are you going to find if you go to a grocery store and you say, I want to buy a tube of toothpaste? 50 different kinds of toothpaste. Toothpaste is a commodity. Today, information is a commodity. It does not matter what information you are delivering. It is already here. I don't care what area you're in, what sector, what content niche you're in. It is already here online. So the question is, when information is a commodity, how do you make your content stand apart from everything else? That's the big question to deal with. So that's why the idea of standing out, I mean, there are certain people who can stand out by having a forceful personality, for example. There are some people, they just turn on a camera and they can start talking, and they are absolutely riveting. a lot of people, I mean, there are those people, and there are a lot more people who don't have that kind of personality. There are other people who will say, okay, I'm going to do something crazy and outrageous. So a lot of people are familiar with Mr. Beast, who's one of the largest channels on YouTube at this point. He does crazy things like fill people's houses with slime, and he gives away Lamborghinis. And so he does these things that are spectacles. So they're unique. They stand out because they're spectacles. So so you can have people who have forceful personalities or energetic or magnetic personalities. You can have people who do unique, crazy, outrageous things. You can have people who stand out by having crazy high-level production values. They shoot on high-level cinema cameras. They have all the skills, all the chops, and they have all the editing skills and all the custom wipes and all the crazy music. They have all the stuff. The majority of content creators don't have those skills either. So the question becomes, what do we all have? And that thing that we all have is understanding people, the human psychology, the human connection, telling a story and creating that bond with our audience. All of us have that because we all are living a story. And we all tell stories every day. So that is the great commonality that everyone has as a content creator.
That's good. That is deep, man. What do we all have? And that's true, right? Because if we want to base it only on the type of gear that we have, it's not going to work out. Yeah, you could strike, right? You could strike and boom, that's it. The quality matters. But the quality can attract somebody. But like they say, the story keeps them there. The story you're telling is what's going to keep him there. And retention, if we understand how to be successful on YouTube, we understand that it's not just about the traffic, it's about the retention that we have on our channel, which is crucial to helping your channel grow. So talking about retention, I want to give a shout out to the folks in the comment section that are joining us. Hey, Bobadilla Adventures, hello to you from Phoenix, Arizona in the place. Lester Praise. What's going on, family? What's going on? Thanks for being here. And I'm loving what Adventures in Dirt said it's not about being clever or skilled. Yeah, it's not about that, right? It's about being able to create that connection with the people that you share with, right? And Lily Tree said, you can be gently different and distinct, though. That's true, right? Everybody has something unique. And there's a way to tell that. Now, we're about to shift into a part of this conversation where I want to ask you, okay, what are the things to do? How exactly do we now leverage technology to actually stand out, right? Leverage our story, right? To actually stand out. What do we do? How do we actually do it? Right after this is going to be the part 2, the second part of this interview. Stay with me, folks. We'll be right back right after this. All right, folks, welcome back to the Content Creators University. If you're just joining us, we've been here with our special guest, our professor today, Jeff Bartsch, who is a professional content creator, author, and he's been, we've been talking about how to leverage our story to stand out today in such a busy ecosystem of creators, content creation, right? We live in the creator economy where people are leveraging content creation more and more in order to speak to an audience that we're never able to speak to, or just expand their reach in their business and things like that. So we indeed want to learn the best way to stand out of the crowd, right? So
people can notice the things that we're doing so we can impact and grow, our company, our businesses, and monetize from there, which is the best thing to do. That's what we do on this channel. One thing that I want to let you know, guys, this is listener and sponsor supported. So I want to give a shout out to our sponsors. Earlier, you saw an ad on here, and that was about Reveal TV Network, which is a faith-based Christian platform for you to watch TV. I call it the Christian Netflix, right? It's called Reveal TV Network. You can go ahead and get yourself a free 7 to 30-day free trial today by visiting the website revealtv.net. I personally use it, and it is amazing. Love that. And also shout out to ExpressVPN, one of our sponsors. If you're looking to get yourself free 3 months, well, go ahead and visit expressvpn.com/JP High Tech to get yourself free 3 months. ExpressVPN is a virtual private network that you can use to protect yourself, especially if you're all about keeping your information away from potential leaks or anything like that when we're spending most of our time online. That is something you want to think about. So again, thank you so much. And we appreciate you guys from being with us. Let me go ahead and bring our guests back onto the stage. Hey, Jeff, thank you so much for this amazing conversation, and how you're breaking it down to us, understanding the power of our story and the uniqueness of what we have, and leveraging that in order to be able to stand out in such a busy crowd of creators. Now, tangibly, let's talk about actionable steps or actionable things that we can do in order to actually stand out. Somebody might tell you, okay, Jeff, I understand, right? I understand the importance of telling my story. I am a creator, but I'm having a hard time standing out. What are the things that I'm maybe missing? What am I supposed to do in your professional experience? What can I do to truly be seen in a better way than I'm doing it currently? What would that be?
Okay. Well, the number one thing that we have to do as we create is we have to know who we're talking to, because we can have the best message in the world, but if that isn't received by the people that we are sending it to, then communication doesn't take place. So that's the number one thing. Then we tell a story. We tell a story that follows a very specific framework and talks about things that and solves problems that our audience cares about. And when we do that, ideally in a way that triggers some sort of emotion with our audience, and it doesn't have to be, sometimes it can be, warm, fuzzy emotions, or sometimes it can be you're telling a story and the purpose is to get people mad or to get people to stand up and cheer. But whatever it is, if you can get them, if you can get your audience to feel something, that is a incredibly powerful way to stand out with your content creation. So there's a framework that I always talk about at Story Greenlight. We call it the Master Story Framework. And the framework goes like this. This is the Master Story Framework that will help, that will fit any story you ever tell. First came across some of these ideas by the work of Donald Miller in some of his writings, and I've added some pieces to it. The idea of a story is where a character wants something, overcomes conflict to get it, and experiences transformation as a result. That right there is the 3-step framework of any story that you will ever tell. Now, the thing when you're telling a story is you can actually expand it, and it can add a whole bunch of moving parts, and it can turn into this epic multi-movie series. It can turn into a 6-season series on Netflix or anything you want. It can have all these different storylines and all these moving pieces. Or it can shrink down to a 30-second commercial. It can shrink down to a 5-second video clip. It can be represented in one still frame. But what it is actually driven by is those ideas of a character who wants something, overcomes conflict to get it, and experiences transformation as a result. And if you want to shrink it down even more, it can go down to 3 words: desire, obstacles, and transformation or change. And if you really had to do anything if you didn't remember anything else from the idea of storytelling right now, it's the idea of that last word is change. We need to be able to show change. That is the ultimate end of any story. I had a question. Now I know the answer. I was lost. I was found. I wanted something and I got it. Or the character was faced with obstacles and the character came out on top. That is the core element of any story. Now, when you do that, you can add those stories into your content. And sometimes it works. Sometimes it works to actually just straight up tell a story like that in your content. But sometimes people are just giving straight up information. And they say, well, it doesn't really, it doesn't really make sense for me to tell a story in this information driven content. So in that sense, we go back to what we were talking about earlier, the idea of understanding the story of your audience.
Mm-hmm.
They are the character who wants something. They have a question. They need a product or a service or an answer. They need a change in emotional state. And so they come to your content, or they come to your brand or your business, and you help them get what they want. And because of that, you are the guide, you are the helper who helps them overcome their obstacles, and your viewer experiences change. So no matter whether we're telling a story outright in the content or not, we always are engaging in the story that our content, that our audience is experiencing themselves.
Man, that's deep. Folks, replay. Replay, folks. You got to replay, because I'm going to go back and replay myself, because I always say you got to walk with the spirit of learning, right? And when you're open to learn, you're always going to grow. But what you're saying is so true. As a cinematographer, I can relate to that 100%, right? It's being able to spark an emotion in people's spirit is what's going to make you stand out. Is the way you're sparking the emotion. Earlier, if you listen to the things Jeff was saying, we would talk about, the most popular YouTuber, right, on the planet uses expensive cars or give out money, right? Mr. Beast, right? Giving out people money, $100,000 or stuff like that. He's sparking a specific emotion, right? First of all, the thumbnail and the title of the video is sparking something. That curiosity or that desire, what on earth are you doing? He's trying to shock you in a certain way, right? And then you jump on it, you're like, whoa, I want to watch this. And once you're in, pay attention to the way the stuff are edited and how he's taking you on a journey, right? That's the thing, right? On what journey are you taking your people, right? That is what's going to determine who comes to you and how long to stay. Because as Jeff said, my takeaway, of course, is keep in mind your target audience, your target followers, right? Listenership, the people you're trying to attract, right? Keep in mind the things they might be interested in. And as you're telling the story, make sure to gear that towards them in a certain way. Create appeal that they can, as a branding expert, I'll tell you that they can digest, right? Whenever I'm building somebody's brand, I'm helping them. I always tell them, hey, we're here to help you find your target audience and make you make sense to them, right? So that's the thing also. Can they understand you easily if you're saying that, oh, I'm just looking for a specific demographic? Is the style of content you're creating attractive to that specific demographic? If it's not, then you'll be missing the mark. You might attract a different type of people, right? In the way, because when we're talking about storytelling, you can tell a story in so many ways, Jeff, like so many ways that we can tell that same story. Like you can share a story right now and I can take it and share the same story in a different way. And that will spark a different emotion. I love what Lilitra is saying. Who's the hero? Seems to be the key. That's cool. Now, let me ask you here. Let me ask you, Jeff, as we're going towards the end of the show, let me ask you this. Okay. what are you doing to help your community? And for my community that want to learn some of the things that you do, and how can they learn from you? Where are the places to go to, and how can they connect? And what do you have for us?
Sure. Well, to learn more about what we do, you can go to storygreenlight.com. If you're interested in the idea of storytelling, I put together a special link just for JP's crowd. It's a special guide that breaks down all the stuff that I was just talking about and goes into more detail. And you can actually get that at, what's the link here? It is storygreenlight.com/JP story. That is the link that you can go to. And that will give you a special storytelling guide that restates all the stuff that we've been talking about here and goes into further detail.
Well, as you're saying, I'm going ahead and bring it up for the folks that are watching the podcast. This is it, right? If I'm not mistaken.
There you go.
All right.
Yes, indeed.
So again, like you said, storygreenlight.com/JP story. Go ahead and visit that URL for the folks that are listening to the podcast. You want to go ahead and check it out and get this free guide that goes into the details of the things that we discussed in today's podcast. And one thing, let's talk about your YouTube. What do you do? Where can they go? What's the name of it, Jeff? Let us know.
Sure. Just look up Story Greenlight on YouTube. That is the, it's interesting. A lot of people can look at the channel and say, it's like, dude, you haven't been really uploading much content recently. And that is true. That is now changing. There's been a lot of work happening behind the scenes in terms of, talking about 25-year-old me, not knowing what it meant to build a business and all that stuff. There's been a lot of business building, a lot of pivoting, a lot of internal work, a lot of team building and all that kind of stuff. And there is a Story Greenlight podcast that just started up this past fall. And as of this recording, those episodes are just now starting to drop on the Story Greenlight channel. So that is something that we're going to be that's something that's going to be releasing regularly on the channel there too. So Story Greenlight on YouTube, Story Greenlight on any podcast platform you get. And those are the places to find us.
Man, that is fantastic, folks. You heard, and if you're watching the video, you saw me put the YouTube channel up, and that is Story Greenlight. Let's go ahead and subscribe, support, and follow, and learn from him, because his channel says get free 30-minute training, right, folks? So if you're looking for that, you want to go ahead and connect. As you guys know, here on this channel, JP High Tech, that's what we do. We help you build your business, and we help you connect with folks that can help you continue that. You can learn everything from one place. So networking and building that repertoire of people that will help you grow is crucial, right? So let's make sure that we're doing that. Jeff, I want to thank you so much for an amazing show. You taking the time to break so many things down to us. It is exciting that you've done that. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I want to ask you to go ahead and wait backstage as I close here, and I'll be right back with you.
Absolutely.
All right, family, this is it. This is what we do at the Content Creators University. We bring you one of the best minds. And as you can see, Jeff is what I call the American Ninja of storytelling. So if you want to connect with the American Ninja of storytelling, that is Jeff Bartsch. Go ahead and connect with him and build that storytelling, sharpen that aspect of your business. Because, hey, we're creating content every time, and this is the foundation of best content creation. I want to go ahead and thank folks that have joined us in the comment section, been active in the chat, Adventures in the Dirt. Thank you so much for everything. It was amazing having you on the platforms. Lily Tree, thank you. It was great having you, First Lady Cree. Thank you, folks. Bobadilla Adventures. what's going on, Lesser Price, everybody that came here. Folks, thank you so much for taking the time and connect with us. And if you appreciate this type of videos, you know what to do. Go ahead and like this video to push that YouTube algorithm so more people can watch it. Subscribe to the channel if you appreciate more content like this, and stick around by activating that bell icon. And I'll see you guys next time for another video. You be safe. See you next week as always. Bye-bye, folks.